"He won't go, sir. I've tried." "He won't go? Why, that's unusual. He's one of two things, then. He's a remarkable person, or he's crazy. Is he crazy?" "No, sir. He don't look it." "Then he's remarkable. What does he say he wants?" "He won't tell, sir. Only says it's very important." "And won't go. Does he say he won't go?" "Says he'll stand there till he sees you, sir, if it's all day." "And yet isn't crazy. Show him up." The sundowner was shown in. The broker said to himself, "No, he's not crazy, that is easy to see, so he must be the other thing." Then aloud, "Well, my good fellow, be quick about it, don't waste any words. What is it you want?" "I want to borrow 100,000 pounds." "Scott! It's a mistake. He is crazy. No, he can't be. Not with that eye. Why, you take my breath away. Come, who are you?" "Nobody that you know." "What is your name?" "Cecil Rhodes." "No, I don't remember hearing the name before. Now then, just for curiosity's sake, what has sent you to me on this extraordinary errand?" "The intention to make 100,000 pounds for you, and as much for myself within the next 60 days." "Well, well, well, it is the most extraordinary idea that sit down, you interest me. And somehow well, you fascinate me. I think that is about the word. And it isn't your proposition. No, that doesn't fascinate me. It's something else, I don't quite know what. Something that's born in you and oozes out of you, I suppose. Now then, just for curiosity's sake, again, nothing more. As I understand it, it is your desire to borrow—" "I said intention." "Pardon, so you did. I thought it was an unheedful use of the word, an unheedful valuing of its strength, you know." "I knew its strength." "Well, I must say—but look here, let me walk the floor a little. My mind is getting into a sort of whirl, though you don't seem disturbed any. Plainly this young fellow isn't crazy, but as to his being remarkable, well, really he amounts to that and something over. Now then, I believe I am beyond the reach of further astonishment. Strike, and spare not. What is your scheme?" "To buy the wool crop, deliverable in 60 days." "What, the whole of it?" "The whole of it." No, I was not quite out of the reach of surprises, after all. Why, how you talk! Do you know what our crop is going to foot up?" 2.5 million sterling, maybe a little more." "Well, you've got your statistics right, anyway. Now then, do you know what the margins would foot up, to buy it at 60 days?" "The 100,000 pounds I came here to get." "Right, once more. Well, dear me, just to see what would happen, I wish you had the money. And if you had it, what would you do with it?" "I shall make 200,000 pounds out of it in 60 days." "You mean, of course, that you might make it if—" "I said shall." "Yes, by George, you did say shall. You are the most definite devil I ever saw, in the matter of language. Dear, dear, dear. Look here. Definite speech means clarity of mind. Upon my word, I believe you've got what you believe to be a rational reason for venturing into this house, an entire stranger, on this wild scheme of buying the wool crop of an entire colony on speculation. Bring it out. I am prepared, acclimatized, if I may use the word. Why would you buy the crop, and why would you make that sum out of it? That is to say, what makes you think you—" "I don't think, I know." "Definite again. How do you know?" "Because France has declared war against Germany, and wool has gone up 14 per cent. in London and is still rising." "Oh, indeed? Now then, I've got you. Such a thunderbolt as you have just let fly ought to have made me jump out of my chair. But it didn't stir me the least little bit, you see. And for a very simple reason. I have read the morning paper. You can look at it if you want to. The fastest ship in the service arrived at 11 o'clock last night. 50 days out from London. All her news is printed here. There are no war clouds anywhere. And as for wool, why, it is the low spiritedest commodity in the English market. It is your turn to jump now. Well, why don't you jump? Why do you sit there in that placid fashion when—" "Because I have later news."
"Later news? Oh, come, later news than 50 days? Brought steaming hot from London by the—"
"My news
is only 10 days old."
"Oh, Munchausen, hear the maniac talk. Where did you get it?"
"Got it out of a shark."
Oh, this is too much. Front! Call the police, bring the gun, raise the town. All the asylums in Christendom have broken loose in the single person of—
"Sit down and collect yourself. Where is the use in getting excited? Am I excited? There is nothing to get excited about. When I make a statement which I cannot prove, it will be time enough for you to begin to offer hospitality to damaging fancies about me and my sanity."
"Oh, a thousand pardons. I ought to be ashamed of myself, and I am ashamed of myself for thinking that a little bit of a circumstance like sending a shark to England to fetch back a market report—"
"What does your middle initial stand for, sir?" "Andrew. What are you writing?" "Wait a moment. Proof about the shark and another matter. Only 10 lines. There, now it is done. Sign it."
"Many thanks, many. Let me see. It says, oh, come, this is interesting. Why, look here. Prove what you say here, and I'll put up the money, and double as much, if necessary,
"And divide the winnings with you, half and half. There now, I've signed. Make your promise good if you can. Show me a copy of the London Times only 10 days old." "Here it is, and with it these buttons and a memorandum book that belonged to the man the shark swallowed. Swallowed him in the Thames, without a doubt, for you will notice that the last entry in the book is dated London, and is of the same date as the Times, and says, 'Ber Konsequenz der Kriegesse Flarun reife ich heute nach Deutschland ab, arbach ich mein Leben auf dem Altar meines Landes legen mag,' as clean native German as anybody can put upon paper, and means that in consequence of the declaration of war, this loyal soul is leaving for home today, to fight. And he did leave, too, but the shark had him before the day was done, poor fellow."
"And a pity, too.
But there are times for mourning, and we will attend to this case further on. Other matters are pressing now. I will go down and set the machinery in motion in a quiet way and buy the crop. It will cheer the drooping spirits of the boys in a transitory way. Everything is transitory in this world. 60 days hence, when they are called to deliver the goods, they will think they've been struck by lightning. But there is a time for mourning, and we will attend to that case along with the other one. Come along, I'll take you to my tailor. What did you say your name is?"
"Cecil Rhodes."
"It is hard to remember. However, I think you will make it easier by and by, if you live. There are 3 kinds of people: commonplace men, remarkable men, and lunatics. I'll classify you with the remarkables, and take the chances." The deal went through, and secured to the young stranger the first fortune he ever pocketed. The people of Sydney ought to be afraid of the sharks, but for some reason they do not seem to be. On Saturdays the young men go out in their boats, and sometimes the water is fairly covered with the little sails. A boat upsets now and then, by accident, a result of tumultuous skylarking. Sometimes the boys upset their boat for fun, such as it is with sharks visibly waiting around for just such an occurrence. The young fellows scramble aboard whole, sometimes, not always. Tragedies have happened more than once. While I was in Sydney it was reported that a boy fell out of a boat in the mouth of the Parramatta River and screamed for help, and a boy jumped overboard from another boat to save him from the assembling sharks, but the sharks made swift work with the lives of both. The government pays a bounty for the shark. To get the bounty, the fishermen bait the hook or the seine with agreeable mutton. The news spreads, and the sharks come from all over the Pacific Ocean to get the free board. In time the shark culture will be one of the most successful things in the colony. End of chapter 13.